All right, so today we're going to be classifying numbers, and these numbers we're going to put into a Venn diagram. So there's three categories that we're going to put. We're going to put whole numbers, integers, and rational numbers. Remember, whole numbers are nice, pretty, positive whole numbers or even zero, right? So we can put only positive, whole, or zero are going to go in here. Okay? They're like your counting numbers and zero. Okay? So here we're going to go ahead and we're going to put 0 in here. I'm going to go ahead and take out 0. Then we're going to see definitely no fractions or decimals in the whole number spot, right? So -5/4 definitely wouldn't go in there. 10 is a nice, pretty, positive whole number, so we're going to put that in here and take that one out. Let's see, 1 and 25/100. Definitely no decimals in the whole number, so we're not going to leave that. Here we have a -2, but that's not positive whole, so that one can't go in my whole number 1. 0.23 is not going to go in there. 23 and 2/3 can't go in there. -13 doesn't go in there because it has the negative. Now I will say here, I have a positive fraction, right? That's an improper fraction that I could divide. So be careful with your fractions. So I'm going to divide 14 divided by 2. And here I know 2 goes into 14 7 times. So when I divide 14 halves, I get 7. And 7 is a positive whole number. So here I am going to put 14 over 2 because when I divide it, it does turn into a positive whole number. Okay? Now we're going to put down our integers. Remember, integers is where we put negatives that are not fractions or decimals. Yes, integers are positive and negative whole numbers, but right now we're just going to put the negative whole in this section here. So we have -5/4. Although it's negative, it's not whole, so we would not put that in our integer one. 1.25 is not whole. -2 is negative and it's whole. So remember, we're going to put our negative wholes in the integer spot. And then we have 0.23. Nope, that won't work. 23 and 2/3, that won't work. And then -13. -13 is a negative whole. So yes, we would put -13 in here. Now, everything else, it says rational numbers is where we put all the fractions and decimals, including negative fractions and negative decimals. And the reason why this fraction worked is because when we divided it, it turned into a whole number. When we divide 5 divided by 4, it won't. When we do 5 divided by 4, we get 1. And then here, we'd end up with a decimal. So the fact that it's going to be a decimal is why 5 1/4 would not work to go in there. So here, in the last one, we're going to put all the rest of the numbers here. Remember, these are where your ugly numbers go. So let me put -5/4. 1.25 goes in here. 0.23 goes in here. 23 and 2/3 goes in here. Oops. Oh, and we already put -13 in. All right, so let me kind of explain the way this graph is going to be read. Your whole number is like your popular group, okay? If you notice, the numbers look real pretty in this group too. We like numbers like this, right? Think of it that way. We like dealing with whole numbers. Whole numbers are the easiest to work with. That means a whole number gets into all the groups. They're like the popular kid, right? A whole number is also an integer and a rational number, okay? So if you see here, whole number, the way it's read, whole number is also an integer. It is also a rational number, okay? Integers here are semi-popular. If you notice, they don't look too bad. They look like a whole number with a negative in front of it. We're okay with those numbers, right? So they're semi-popular. Integers are not whole numbers, but they are integers and they are rational numbers. So here, it's like it's working its way out. Whole numbers are all three, right? Integers are just these two. And you can think of rational numbers like your really, really, really unpopular group, right? Look at these numbers. They're ugly. They're numbers we don't like. Okay? If you're in the rational numbers group, you are only a rational number. You cannot go into any of the other groups.